guys, for those of you that are just showing up, I'm going to be waiting a couple minutes for those that want to watch the stream to come in and join. So we'll start it in about 3 to 5 minutes, hopefully. How's it going, Drubado? It's good to see you again. Kind of creepy music, actually. Not sure if I picked the best stuff for today. All right, so we've got some traders coming in, so I'm just going to go ahead and start. I'm expecting quite a few people today. So as you guys know, I started a new thread on Forex Factory, and this is the big account here that we're going to be dealing with now. This is $24,000, so quite a big jump from the 6K that I had at Oanda. Um, so today's going to be a little bit different because I haven't had a lot of time to prepare for the stream today because my funds came in today for LMFX, and so I've been setting all that up today. So we will do some live trading, and I'll explain to you the process of what I've gone through, my experience with LMFX so far, and the deposit function and the website, all that kind of stuff. So real fast heads up. I also have an Oanda account. Now this account's still live as well. So I moved out five grand from this account and put it into LMFX. All right. So and LMFX is a broker that has 1,000 to 1 leverage, and also 100% deposit bonus. And I'm going to put a link at some point, either this stream or the next. I forgot to do it in this stream, of the broker, so you can check them out, and so on and so forth. So actually, let me. Okay, here we go. So this is the account so far. I've already attached it to my FX book. I haven't done the tracking verified and things like that, but honestly, that doesn't really matter because you guys are going to be seeing me make withdrawals from this account, and that will tell you for sure if this account is real or not. But you can, I'm showing you now. My account number's at the top. And this is a live account. This is real, $24,000. This is not a demo, and we'll be trading this on a daily basis. Now, my streamers or subscribers have asked if I could do a daily stream because I'll be scalping the market. And I've decided to do that. So since the market has died down a little bit, I'm a little bit because of the news that came out. There was an unemployment news that came out at 8:30, and then Yellen was speaking at 8:45. She's been going on for the last while. I believe that she's still talking, and I'm a little bit cautious of taking any scalping trades right now. So right now, at the moment, I'm looking at some of the news of anything that she's saying. Doesn't look like she's saying a whole lot. The biggest thing that everybody's has been waiting for is the healthcare bill, if that's going to be decided. Now, I just found out it looks like they did not reach an agreement on the healthcare. So with this being in the news right now, this will probably mean that the euro US dollar will continue to rise up. So the USD will fall today, and I expect that to be the case for most of the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate my EA, scalping EA, and so you'll see some trades potentially go in. Now the trades that when a trade will go in, you'll see. This is the indicator that I use. I'm also using the ADR. I have that disabled right now. I'm gonna get rid of that so you can see the stats on the side. So we want the market to hit the red line up here. So this is a sort of a Bollinger Band type of indicator, and this indicator shows me basically overbought, oversold. Now you can see that it's very smooth. It's because it repaints. It repaints the past, so we can't really judge how what trades would look like in the past. We only take them as they come. In Bollinger Bands, I do that in a little bit better because they don't repaint as much. They still do, but once the price hits above the red, we enter short positions, and once it goes below the green, we enter long positions. So yes, hello everybody. I'm watching. Drabata, you're watching the JPY pairs. Um, I won't be watching much of the JPY pairs today, but if we have some downtime after I get through, I guess my spiel, we'll get into maybe some of the pairs that may want, some um, analyzing on. Um, I'll be back in 30 minutes. Yeah, okay, cool. FX guesser. Good to see you, Norbert. So yeah, we have a good crowd today so far. I expect some more to come in. Now we don't have any trades in at the moment. So far, what I've taken on this account has been a little bit unfortunate. We've had some profit. We're at $20 profit for today, um, and I had a trade that went in on the pound CAD. As you see the entry, you can see the entry right now. It was marked. Now the thing is that once my money came in, I had to make some changes to the account. I recently upgraded my EA, so it has a better hedge. And the old EA that you see that was loaded on the chart actually entered a trade, and so I closed it out at a small profit. And I can show you that now. There you go. So you can see I closed it out at a small profit. Now I could have held on to it, but the thing is that the trade wasn't entered correctly. It was supposed to enter a hedge trade directly on the euro pound, and it did not. So I decided to close it out because I wanted entering correctly, and I don't want to be taking any unnecessary risks, and so that's what I did. The uh, the euro pound on my Oanda account has taken a good trade entry. Now this is a very good inside candle setup. You see the bearish candle here, very large bearish candle, and a very good um, inside candle. Now this is a plus plus setup. This is basically textbook from my setup. So for those of you guys watching wanting to do my RMI longer term trading setup, you see this push down, right? A nice push down. Then we have the big candle with the wick. So we have a nice big wick on the bearish candle, and then we also have a wick on the candle right after. That's a bullish candle, but it's also inside. This is a really good indication for a change of market direction. And this is not old or new news. This is a candle setup that has been around. People call it Harami setup, an inside candle setup. I call it an inside candle setup because it basically has to do with two candles. You're looking at these two candles here, and that's it. Um, and the reason why this is a good reversal pattern is because the second or the signal candle, which is here, did not break the low of the previous candle. Um, and it's also bullish. That's a bullish candle after a big push down, meaning that this isn't going to continue to break or may not continue to break. When candles continue to make new lows, that means that they're trending down and the push in that direction is continuing. But when it stops like this, and that's what the inside candle is such a good candle for reversal, is because that push down maybe I say maybe ending, because we don't know for sure, but it's a good hint that there could be a bounce of some sort here. It might be smaller, or it could be much larger. We don't know at this point, but we're taking the position, and we're going to be taking about 50 pips profit on this trade. So the entry here, it moved about 10 pips so far. We're looking for 50. So that is right about 86,740, which I'm going to mark. 86,740. So if you guys are wanting to enter this trade, you can with me, but keep in mind that I do trade a little bit differently. than your standard person. I don't have a stop loss, so there's no stop loss in this trade. Well, excuse me, I do have a stop loss. It's just really wide. I have a 500 to 600 pip stop loss on every position that I take with this kind of setup. So it's pretty large. So I would be looking for about 500 pip stop loss, and my take profit is 50 pips. Now it seems like a pretty odd um risk reward, right? No, it's not. It's typical for me because I like to give my trades room to breathe. If I give them room to breathe, then I can hit that 50 pips take profit more often. And I'm going for a higher win rate. Okay, so my goal is a high win rate, and um, and to do that is a smaller take profit and a larger stop loss. And so what I do if this trade goes against me, if it continues to go down, say another 20 pips, I'll enter a second position, and it goes down again, I'll enter a third position. So I'll start basketing the trade. Now the basketing will be done at the same risk amount, so 0.01. So the next position will be 0.01, and then so on and so forth. But I will never increase the lot size on this type of system. I will not semi-martingale, and I will not martingale. This is not a martingale strategy. This is a basket type of trade strategy. It's not the same as martingale. Okay, so if it continues to go down, my EA will automatically put in more positions on a on a grid system. So every 20 pips down, it will enter more positions looking for that bounce. Now, when this type of candle setup happens, the one I just showed you, it means that there's that potential for the bounce there. Now, if I don't get it and it continues back down, then we still could get that bounce. This here indicates that it could bounce at any moment, above, below, slightly below, but it shows that the current push in the direction is potentially slowing. If it's not right here, then it could be down here, it could be down here, but nonetheless, it will likely happen at some point. The reason why, so for new traders coming in here today, the reason why I trade on this pair is because it's known for its large ranges, and so it's great for this counter trend type of trading um, when you're basket trading, especially. So with that being said, I'm going to move back into my high risk account and see how things are going. So I have activated the EA. It's looking for trades, but we haven't had any trades yet. Well, at least in this stream. So I've already had a couple trades before the news came out at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now the news, I stopped taking trades in about this area here. I stopped taking trades here, and that was it. But I did have my first trade right here was literally, this is on the 1 minute chart, by the way. This is a 1 minute strategy, scalping. This is my entry and my exit. It literally was like 5 seconds. The entry to the exit, this happened in about 5 seconds time, maybe less. And I came out with about 6 pips profit, I think. About 5 pips profit. So the idea behind the strategy is we're not looking for pips. We're looking for actual profit in dollars. So that's the difference here. Where pips aren't the important thing with this strategy. It's the dollar sign. So how does that work? So after this initial take profit on a buy trade or a long trade, we had short trades. Now these three short positions, so 1, 2, and 3, were entered when the market went against me. It's the same kind of idea with the RMI strategy that I was showing you on the Oanda broker. But the difference here is that we're entering at a higher risk. So the first trade here was 0.12. The second trade was 0.24. And the third trade was 0.48. These are lot sizes. Okay. So that's how we work the strategy. Yes, it is a martingale strategy, which scares the hell out of a lot of people. Sometimes it can scare the hell out of me as well. Um, but if it's traded right and I'm trading it in the safest way, I know how to do high risk trading. It's high risk trading. There's always going to be risk involved, but this is the best way I feel the approach to approach it. So I'm not using a lot of risk per trade considering my account size. So Ryan lost 10K. I lost 10K. Oh, okay. So Gerald Benedict is talking about my um, previous account. Uh, Jared, that's fine. I know that you want to post um, about my history, and I'm fine talking about that. Yes, I did have an account of I think it was about 7,000, and I was trading uh, another strategy and this one at Oanda. So Oanda has 50 to 1 leverage, so just so you know. So there's not a lot of leverage to work with. And so I was running this scalping EA on Oanda at a much lower risk because of the leverage. Now, I still have leverage issues with that Oanda, and the strategy is not the best to use with that broker. But one day during the election, so the night of the election, so back in November, I think it was, I had an issue by accidentally leaving this robot on during the election. Now, you guys know that high risk trading uh, during high impact economic events um, like the election can be pretty damaging because if you're high risk trading, that means you're using high lots, and the volatile market can really shut you down quickly. I left it on when I was gone. I went to a friend's house and didn't have a way to shut off my computer, obviously. I probably could have shut down my internet remotely if I basically called the cable company, um, but was hoping that I would be okay. And at that point, but was really frustrating. Was considering taking the hour-long drive back to close down my computer, and didn't do it. So it was a careless move, and yeah, I, uh, I had a mistake there. And we do, and it was the worst mistake that I've had in 3 years of my trading as a professional. But I'm okay admitting that to you guys for watching, because we have to admit our faults, right? The problems that we've had. Otherwise, we're not going to improve as traders. So the goal with this is to be a lot more alert with turning this EA off. I don't want to trade during volatile market. So during high impact news, if Yellen is speaking, then I'll be turning it off. If there's high impact news like unemployment or NFP coming out, then I will turn it off as well. Um, so it's an EA that requires manual intervention. Now, a lot of people have asked me, why don't you just put in a news filter with it? Well, it's because news filters can be a little sketchy. They don't always filter the news. It's not always the best way to go. I'd rather just turn it off myself. Even though I've made mistakes in the past with it, I plan on being a lot more consistent with how I will approach it in the future. Because, guys, I mean, if you look in the past, look at my previous accounts. Now this one, yes, it had a higher drawdown, but I used scalping almost entirely on this account. As you see, 93%. And you also see my previous account here. And this one it was about 95% strict scalping. So 12% drawdown and a 69% profit. That was over about 4 or 5 months time. Okay, so that is the strategy that I'm using. So you can see that I've had positive trading history with it. It just needs to be used in the correct way. Okay. Uh, so Ryan old 10K account loss, pullback system. Yeah, Gerald, I just did it. Um, I just talked about it. So you don't need to talk about it anymore, since I've just basically spilled the beans with it all. If more of you guys want some details on that, on what happened, I can talk about it more in another stream. But today is about moving forward and scalping the market, high risk, and to see what happens. Right now, we're pretty quiet. There's not a lot of volatility in the market. I'm looking at the space between the middle band and the top band. So four, uh, so it's only 4 pips from the middle to the top. I want it to be within 5 pips. Usually I won't trade if it's larger than 5 pips from the middle to the top. So I'll stay out of the market when that happens. Right now, so trading conditions are good right now. It's just not a lot of volatility. I need the price to push down with a little bit of volume and push up. Either down or up. Right now, we're not getting that. So let's see. Zach, a cheap 7K lesson. Is your strategy going to be all EA or some manual as well? So the thing is that, Zach, all of my strategies can be traded manually. Um, so I'm showing you that I'm using an EA, but you can always hire a coder um, to make a strategy into an EA. So everything that you see that I'm doing with my EAs, you can do manually. So for example, so let's say that the EA will enter a trade if it pops back up and pops and hits the red line, right? Then we'll enter a short trade. You could do the same thing. You just have to watch your charts. See, the thing that helps with the EAs means that I don't have to watch my charts as much. Means because I've been a trader for 11, 12 years, and I don't enjoy watching the charts for 5 hours straight. And so the EAs help that a little bit. So what you do is if it goes up, breaks that, then you enter a short position looking for it to go down. You're looking for about 5 pips profit. You can do it by dollar amount. So if you have a $10,000 account, you're going to be trading with 0.05 lots. Means that you'll be looking for about $2.50 profit on each trade. If you have a $20,000 account, it's going to be 0.1 lot, and you'll be looking at a $5 profit for each trade cycle. So let's say it bounces up, trade 1 goes in, and if it continues to go up, trade 2 will go in, and you'll be entering at double the lot size, and you'll be looking for a profit dollar amount of that same amount, which is $5. So it's going to be difficult for you to understand how everything works in one stream. This is not just going to be one stream. I'll be streaming daily of how the system works. So if something doesn't make sense, you'll see how it works live on camera. If it's not today, then it will be tomorrow or on Monday. But in most days, you'll see me actively trading like you are now. But the problem is that we don't have any orders in. Um, let's see. So I'm also trading on the pound CAD, and I have that going on a VPS right now. Let me bring that over. So the pound CAD has my RMI inside candle version 3, and this EA is a hedge EA, and it's the one I mentioned a little bit on the Oanda account. Excuse me. Now this EA looks for an inside candle setup, same thing as before. So that we had one here, so a good bullish candle with a nice wick on it, as you can see here, and then a slightly bearish. It's almost like a line graph, but it's a slightly bearish candle here. It was inside, so it would push down, and that would be our entry in the next candle. Now, once that entry is placed, we have an identical entry that's entered on the euro pound. So if this is a short position on the pound CAD on that entry point, then we'll enter a short position on the euro pound as well. What that means is we have a really good hedge. Now the euro pound, the euro pound and the pound CAD are counter correlated pairs. So that means when one is typically when one is moving up, the other one is typically moving down, or vice versa. It's not always the case. It's not a perfect hedge, but I don't want it to be a perfect hedge. I don't want it to be one to move up 50 pips and the other one to move down 50 pips. I don't want it like that. I want it to be a little offset, so I can take a good hedge where one complements the other. So how this works is if a trade goes against me on one pair, um, then the other pair is in profit and going and likely in some kind of profit. Now, once the pair that's in drawdown actually starts to move into my favor, the pair that was already in profit starts to lose its profit, right? So the balance out where one is moving up, the other one's starting to move down, and vice versa, and then they'll meet in the middle. That's the goal for the hedge. And so far, it's been working out pretty well. But I can't back test the strategy because, as you know, you can't trade on two pairs at the same time in Strategy Tester, at least as far as I can understand, or with MetaTrader 4. So moving back to to the account you see here on my regular computer. This is my server, my VPS, as you can see at the top. There's a VPS hosting, and it's looks like this. So it's an entirely different computer. Um, so no trades yet. I did have that entry there, which turned out to be not that amazing because, as you can see, it's shooting up at this point. It would be going against that position. So I'm actually glad I closed it out because it didn't take the hedge because of an older version. So I'm hoping everything's worked out. We've gotten the bugs worked out with the LMFX so far. We just started today. I've only been live for the last 3 hours or so. And so not a lot of action at this point. We just in $20 profit, and we you can see the profitable trades here. All right, so let's see. Any comments that you guys want while we're waiting for some trades to come in? Because I hope that you don't get bored watching the stream, especially when like right now when we don't have any trades going in. It might be a little bit boring to watch. Um, so okay, yeah, Gerald, I just said why I lost. I'm not sure if you caught that or what you were doing, but I said I lost because of leaving my scalping robot on during the election night. It was a mistake. I knew it before the election night even happened. Not before the next election night even happened, but when it was taking place, I was like, crap, I left my EA on. What am I gonna do? I said, well, I have maybe, I don't, I guess I'm just going to have to leave it on. At the time, that's what I was thinking. I left it on for an hour or two during all the votes coming in, who was going to be president. And as you know, the volatility shot up, way up, down during that night. And by the time I realized that I could probably call the company to shut down my internet, it was pretty much too late, or pretty close to being too late. So I didn't take the correct action on that and traded a scalping robot that needs to not be traded during the news, and it was traded during the news. Big mistake. And not the scalping EA's problem or the strategy's problem. Completely my issue, and how that I approached that. It's just really unfortunate how I had to lose. I lost 60% of my account. I didn't lose it all. So for those of you thinking that I lost 7K, I didn't lose 7K. I actually lost 5,000 of the 7K, so I guess that's closer to 65%. I lost 5,000. I had like 2,500 left in the account. Then I took a very high risk trade on the Euro US dollar, and ended up banking $1,600 off that trade. So my account ended at what is that? About $4,000. So in reality, the loss was about 3,000. And so I'll take that as a 50% loss. I still am in profit since I began trading uh, professionally back 3 years ago. Okay, so Gerald, I hope that. Okay, yes, the 61%. Yeah, there you go. So I hope that answers your question, because the thing is that what happens with when traders do these streams and they've had a history, a lot of times users will come out and try to warn others that are watching the stream uh, that this trader has had a bad history or he's done this or done that. I'm fine. I'm fine answering those questions. Um, uh, People that are curious, um, about my trading history. I unfortunately deleted that account, so you can't really look at it. Um, and I wish I didn't because I did make that special Euro US dollar FOMC trade that banked me $1,600. Um, so I deleted it before I took that trade, and I tried to bring that account back on my FX book, but it wouldn't allow me to do it because some trading history was missing. It was a I'm not sure if it's an Oanda issue or if it's a MetaTrader 4, but I just decided to move the leftover funds into another account. So I'm still at Oanda. This is what we're looking at now. I just have $1,000, and uh, and I want to continue to use this account for lower risk trading. So I said in the post on Forex Factory that I was going to tell you what my plan is. And so I'm going to do that to you guys now. And the reason why I want to tell you what my plan is because every high risk trader should have a plan in place. Because you should have a plan in trading no matter what. But a high risk trading plan is way more important because the stakes are much higher. So you obviously know that during high risk trading that you could make a lot of profit. You also know that you could lose a lot of profit on top of that. Um, so high rewards, uh, high losses. Um, and so the plan is to get a $12,000 profit and on this account. And we're shooting for 10 to 20% per month. And a $12,000 profit would be about 50% profit on this account. And once I reach 12,000, I plan to withdraw my initial deposit. So you guys can see here. I'm not going to be honest with this. Uh, yeah, I guess you could. I think, yeah, I guess yeah, I'm still in on Simple Trader. That's not a bad idea, Gerald Benedict. Um, 'Cause I'm not sure if my account was deleted there or not. But I'll have to check that out to see if my stats still are showing the profit that I did hit on the Euro US dollar. Okay, so real fast. It says I deposited $12,000 at this broker, okay? I also received a 100% bonus. Now, the cool thing about this broker, LMFX, is that they actually give you a 100% credit bonus. Not that many brokers do that now. And a lot of times you can look at it as kind of scammy, but newer brokers will typically do this to help bring in some new clients. Um, and these guys are pretty new. They've been around since 2015. They have really good reviews on pretty much all the sites that you can find, like forexpeacearmory.com, and they have really high leverage. It's very unusual for a broker like this to be accepting U.S. clients with these kind of deals going on. So technically, I have $12,000, and they did give me a 100% bonus, so that makes my account $24,000. The thing is here is that I can't. We're getting some push here. Sorry, I'm gonna pause this for a second. This kind of candle makes me a little weary when I see a candle this large. I'm gonna try to see what is causing this. Bear with me, guys. I disabled my EA right now, so I can see what's happening before I start trading it. I'm actually going to go ahead and enter now. Okay, so we entered the first trade. I don't see anything huge coming on right now. This is probably a health bill related, I would guess. So we have one entry in. I'll come back to the plan in just a little bit. We're going to wait for this trade to come out. So you saw there was some slippage on the actual uh, trade. There wasn't a lot because the spread is about 1.2 pips. Now what I'm looking for here is about 5 pips profit, or roughly about $5 profit on this trade. Now you may be thinking, oh, that's not a high risk trade. Just you wait. I'm actually have this account. Like I said, I'm trying to be safe with the high risk that I'm taking here. This is a back test of the strategy on the 1 minute chart. As you can see here, it brings in decent profit. I'm looking at about 10% per month with just this strategy alone. Now, I'm not looking for 100% per week here, guys. I'm looking for 10 to 20% per month. That's still considered high risk trading. You might think it's not high risk trading, but it really is. Anything that's over 5% per month is really high risk trading. So we're in profit right now. And it's pretty volatile right now. Not really liking what I'm seeing. Um, but the good thing here is that there is some inconsistencies where we're shooting up and down a little bit. It means that it's not going straight down or straight up. I don't want to see that happen where I get caught in a big news statement that pushes down really quickly in a very volatile market. I wanted there to be some kind of range, and so that's why you saw me turning it on and turning off the EA to make sure that nothing was going on. So it looks like okay. So we did have some health bill information that just came out. It was well, let me bring this up. Looks like they finally reached an agreement on the healthcare bill. I was right. It was having to do with the healthcare. Um, so 95% agreement on the bill as of this morning. Now that doesn't mean that it's official yet, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So that's what we're getting. We got this initial drop, I would guess. So let me go back to the stream. Okay, so uh, Norbert, yeah, you're right. Every trader has a bad history. It's true. When we all had to start somewhere, right? And that does include a lot of unfortunate history. Um, and I luckily have minimal bad history in the last 3 years, but I still have it, and that's evident. And unfortunately, since I've been in the public eye for now 6 months, I have people following me, and they will let you know my history, and I'm okay with that. So search simple trader. Okay, yeah, I got that already. Or other Trump nonsense. Yeah, it's definitely likely Trump nonsense. The markets are very interesting right now. For those of you guys trading, maybe I can tell you a little bit about what's going on. Um, the whole idea of this is going to close out here once it reaches $5. By the way, the idea that is uh, when Trump came into office, people bought tons of USD. They thought because Trump coming into the presidency meant that everybody's going to buy the dollar because it was a great thing for the U.S. to have Trump in as the president, and that worked for until February, really, and maybe even the last up until March. That idea that Trump is really good for the U.S. is shaking off a little bit. People are not um, are more cautious of what the future entails now, and so the uh, rise of the U.S. dollar may be in jeopardy at this point. So that's what's happening right now. That's why the shaky market. That's why the low liquidity and the low volume as well, because people are staying out. All right, there we go. So we just hit our profit. As you can see, as I was talking to you, I didn't have to do anything, but I could have very well taken that trade manually as well, and it did shoot up at that point. Now we took just just about 5 pips profit, and and it decided, and I did check the market to see what was going on. Now, the news hadn't come out that they did reach some kind of agreement, at least partial agreement on the healthcare. That's what initially caused the bounce down. But since it's not official yet on the decided vote, um, if the agreement has been official yet, I guess that's why we're having the bounce up and down. So I'm continuing to leave my auto trade trading active in my EA active until I hear otherwise. Now today is a tricky day. It's a tricky day for trading because we had Yellen speaking earlier, and she probably is done now, and then we had the healthcare bill all over the place. Um, this is going to be the case a lot with scalping. It's going to be tricky for me because of all of this news that's coming out. And the thing is that we do have scheduled news, as you can see on Forex Factory, like I'm going to show you now. The scheduled news you can see here. So the unemployment claims. I don't want to trade during this news. So I'm also turning off my EA during that. I'm also turning it off during speeches. So I will turn off the EA at about 8 o'clock. So 8 a.m. So 30 minutes before the news. Maximum, I'll turn it off at 8:15, and then I'll turn this back on once I see if she's causing the market to be really volatile. I'm going to be watching it on the 1 minute chart. I'm going to be watching the activity on the 1 minute chart to see how volatile the candles are. If I'm seeing candlesticks, multiple candlesticks that are really large, of 10 pips or more, then I'm going to be very cautious on how I approach the market. That means that I may wait to enter. I may wait for the price to bounce well above the lines, so I can get a better entry. It's all about looking at the volume of the market, the volatility as well, and using that to my advantage, or using it to my advantage just in general. Now it did move in our favor above. But the problem is, it didn't move enough. It didn't move enough above that point. We didn't get the entry. We missed it by I think it was about 0.01 pips. The price needs to go 1 pip above these lines. 1 pip above before an entry is done. I don't want it to just ride this uh, range. I want it to break it and then enter a position. New home sales in 15 minutes. Okay, yeah. The thing is with I'm looking at the high impact news. For those of you that are wondering, I'm looking at the ones that are red on Forex Factory. There's multiple websites that have that show uh, the news and the impact of it. I'm not looking for home sales. Home sales is not a huge news statement unless this number is really drastic. So it's forecasted at 566K. Um, and if the actual is, say, for example, like in the 400s, then that could mean that this new statement could see some volatility. So it was a lot less than expected, or a lot more. But typically, I'm going to be trading during these kinds of news statements. The only one I'm not trading during are the red ones. And that's only including the US dollar and the euro. So if there's a euro statement, so we're going to look at the news for tomorrow. Um, so we're looking at the news for tomorrow, and we don't see any news until the U.S. durable goods. I'm going to be watching this, but this isn't a big news statement. Even though it says it could have high impact, and could have high impact if the actual news number is a lot worse or a lot better than expected. I mean, but typically, I'm not expecting a lot from this news. Now, I probably won't trade 15 minutes before or 15 minutes after. So that means at 8:15 I'll stop trading, and at 8:45 I'll probably continue. If I don't see a lot of volume happening because of this move after the actual results come out, then I could potentially start trading it at 8:31 or 8:35 soon after the news actually happened. So it's just based on the news statement once it comes out, and then watching the volume of the candlesticks on the 1 minute chart. Now, the thing with you guys, if you're trading 1 minute chart, if you're trading this strategy or if you're trading another one, uh, then you need to be really mindful of what the candlesticks are doing. How large are they? How small are they? What's the space between the top and the bottom? Right now we're at about 4.5 pips, which is still within my trading range of where I want to be. But if it goes above 5 pips, I might reconsider taking any positions because it may be too volatile at that point. Um, okay, shows high impact on my FX book. Okay, so yes, Zach brings up a really good point. Um, some news websites will show high impact when others don't show a high impact. This is something that you need to be watching on your own to decide if something is high impact or not. I find that Forex Factory's actual posting of what they feel like is high impact and low impact is, from what I have seen with other news websites, is the most accurate. But I still find even they aren't as accurate sometimes. Like for example, the core durable goods is showing as low impact, and I think it might be. I'm not sure if it's high impact at FX Street. But guys, you should be watching these news statements for your own trading. If you see a big news statement coming out in 30 minutes, don't trade. Wait for the news statement to come out and then take a position. I guess taking a position before could go in your favor, but it could also go majorly against you. So you should always be looking for the latter. If a trade, don't trade during the news or just before the news, because it could really hurt you. So we're looking at FX Street. I like FX Street too because they actually post the actual results a lot faster than Forex Factory. So tomorrow they have the USD home sales or durable goods at orange as well. So it's not high impact. Today the home sales I believe is orange as well. So I like, yeah, like I said, I like Forex Factory and FX Street as well. On top of that, for their news and what's going to be high impact, what's going to be low impact. As you can see, Yellen's speech today was a total no-show. There was almost no volatility during her speech today, and so it's just, you know, it just depends on what's said during that speech. But I'm not going to take any chances. I'm not going to trade during that speech with the potential that she could say something that drives the market crazy and I come out with unnecessary losses. So this is how I'm going to be approaching the market on a daily basis, and I need to do that. I can't just leave it on carelessly. Otherwise, that means that I could set myself up for a lost account. The thing is here, guys, this is a high risk account. Even though I'm shooting for 10 to 20% per month, I am risking 100% of the account, which really sucks. It sucks to know that. So if I get into a sticky situation while trying to make 10 to 20% per month, then yes, I could come out with a pretty substantial loss. And I understand the the risks there. Even though I don't like them that much, I understand the risks. Why am I taking the risk? I'm taking the risk just like you guys take the risk yourselves. We all have smaller accounts. We have accounts in most of us have accounts under $10,000, right? And so we're trying to get that lucky break to get that $50,000 to $100,000, or $25,000 to $50,000, so we can actually have a good base, a trading base. Now, for me, maybe I look at it slightly different than what you do. Maybe you're looking at, oh, if I turn $1,000 into 10, then I can turn that 10,000 into 20, or then 20 to 40, and keep doubling it that way until I get to 100,000, until I get $1 million. What's your goal? Because my goal is really conservative, which I want to get my deposit back, which you see here at 12,000. So once I reach 12,000, I'm going to be making a withdrawal of the account, and so I'll be just trading with trading profits. Okay, so at that point, I don't have any risk in the market, but I have with my initial starting balance. But I'm risking $12,000. That doesn't mean that I'm completely in the free. I'm still risking 12,000 of profit now, which unfortunately, which if you look at it like that, you're thinking, oh, you're risk free because you don't have your initial deposit in there. That's not necessarily true because I'm risking $12,000 in profit that I never had, or that I have now, and so yes, it's slightly different. You feel a little bit more secure, but there's still risk involved because it would really suck to lose 12 grand. Okay, um, so that's the plan. Is once I reach 12,000, that means I'll be starting out at 24K again, right? I'll have 24,000 in the account, um, and I'll still have the bonus from the broker on top of that. Um, so I'll be starting back at 24, and I'll get to uh, basically where I want it to be is at least 25,000. So I want the account to be 25,000 without the bonus. So that means that a total would be showing roughly $37,000. So once it's 37, that's when there's potential that I may leave LMFX. As you guys know, LMFX it's a newer broker, like I said before. It is 1,001 leverage, which is great. I love having all these perks, but um, the bottom line is that they're not regulated in the U.S. market. But because they're not regulated, means that I get all these wonderful options like a credit bonus, 1,001 leverage. I can trade uh, I can trade gold if I wanted to, metals, indices. I can trade tons of different more options, and it's just the things that us U.S. traders don't have um, accessible to us. I can also don't have to worry about the FIFA rule. But once I reach 25K in actual withdrawable balance, then that is the point where I may look into going back to Oanda, as you see here, with a 25K balance and starting to make my standard 3 to 5% per month. Now, I think this is what you guys should do as well, is your high risk trading should have an end, or it should have some kind of plan. So my plan is once I get to that point, I may withdraw the entire balance, but it's very likely that I may keep a small amount in here to trade high risk, $1,000, maybe two, um, at all times. That is if I'm still liking this broker. But the thing is that I want to protect my balance, my profit. And so that's why withdrawing from LMFX at some point may be something that is necessity, because I don't know if they're going to drop their U.S. client base at some point. Most of the time, these brokers have a limited access to allowing U.S. traders, um, and eventually they will probably drop them. It could be a few months. It could be a few years. We just never know. I do know that LMFX is planning to stay in the U.S. market for quite some time. Like I said in my last stream, they did just sign on uh, forexsignals.com. They have millions of dollars in U.S. clients over there, and since they just signed them on, it gives me more hope that they could be around for quite a while. So, with that said, guys, it's that's why I picked them. I picked them because I see opportunity here. Uh, but the opportunity in trading always comes with risk. Uh, so I can't negate the risk entirely. I'm doing my best to try to do that by taking the steps that you see here. So to finish off with my plan, uh, like I said before, I am trading the pound CAD. Now, when I have 4 trades in on my other EA system, I will not be scalping. The reason for that is because I don't want to over leverage the account. I want to make sure both EAs are complementing each other, where if I'm in too deep on one, then I'm not going to be taking trades in the other, or vice versa. Um, it's important for me to keep my leverage healthy when trading, so I don't run into margin issues. Uh, so that everything is calculated. And I see this on Forex Factory. I even took pictures of this. I'm going to show you this, actually. Here's my desktop. I know you can see all the programs that I'm running. Okay. I titled them Death 1 and Death 2. So these are traders on Forex Factory. Now these guys, this guy, 1,000 to 10,000. He actually removed his account uh, from Forex Factory, so the Explorer. Because he came into a massive drawdown problem. Now he was doing pretty well. He had about 100 and something percent profit, and then he had one basket of trades that killed him. And that's all it really takes, is that when you're high risk trading, you understand that there's major rewards but also major risk. And unfortunately, this guy got hit with it. Um, and he removed his Explorer. I don't want to. I'm trying not to fall into that trap, and I'm doing the best way I think is of avoiding that. And the thing is, with these guys, or with this individual, he's pushing for too much profit. He made a what was it, 200% in a month? That's pretty ridiculous. You should make your high risk expectations. You should make them lower. Uh, so you have an opportunity to still make good profit each month, but the potential of blowing up your account is much less. We can't get rid of that risk entirely, but we can minimize it. I feel like it's either or that these guys will go with a low risk strategy, 3 to 5% per month, or they'll go 200% per month. Why isn't there any middle ground? There needs to be some kind of middle ground, a better balance, so you can give your trading more breathing room, and so you're not like constantly hectic and nervous all the time with your trades. Okay, so this is titled Death 2. Uh, so this guy is still going, but he actually closed out his trades at about a 60% loss, which is pretty heavy. Not to say that this won't happen to me, but you can see that he's also pushing for massive profits each month. He's only had 35 trading days with 350% gain over that time period. Again, another trader that's shooting for too much. It means that when he shoots for too much and he actually has a bad trade, he or she has a bad trade, then they lose too much. They can lose hundreds of percent or the entire account. Give your trades more breathing room, guys. It's important to protect your profits instead of just risking them all. And to do that, you need a withdrawal strategy. You need some kind of withdrawal strategy. And the thing is, with these traders that I just showed you the pictures of, they rarely withdraw any of their profits, and which is strange because they keep thinking, oh, I want to compound. I want to compound my profit. But there's benefits to that, but there's also major risk. Um, so the if they receive or they profit 100 to 200% per month, withdraw some of that profit. Give yourself a little bonus, you know. So withdraw maybe if you got 200%, withdraw 100%. Sorry, ugh, that's my FX book in the background, um, making all that noise. Um, so you need a withdrawal plan in order for this type of trading to be working. All right, I'm fed up with this um, news coming out. I need to turn off the notifications. I think I can do it in the back office. I'll make sure that in my FX book, I'll make sure to do that before the next stream. All right, so we don't have a lot of, still not a lot of trading opportunities going on here. It's been the euro US dollar is in a tight range, and the tight range is basically shooting up and shooting down. Not a lot of action. Uh, so we did have one trade for those of you guys that are just joining in. We had one trade this morning. It was entered when the price broke the green line. I entered a buy trade. I waited for a little bit of the volatility to be removed from the market, and it shot back up at that point. We don't have any trades on the pound CAD. I'm looking for an inside candle. I'm looking for an inside candle after the market pushes up, usually breaks the high or the current high. So up here, if it breaks it, then and we have an inside candle, I will enter a trade, or my EA will enter a trade on the way down. Now, for those of you following my system today, in my strategy, this is going to be a daily thing. I'll be having daily streams. I'll be on tomorrow at the same time at 9 a.m. You'll be able to watch my trading. There's not a lot of action going on right now. We've been going for about an hour. Um, and this might be some of the stream. I'll talk about it. We'll talk as a group. I'd like to see some questions from you. Um, you'll I plan on showing you everything about how I trade, down to the account size, the account number. I'm showing you 2 live accounts and how they're traded. Uh, this should be I'm hoping to be a pretty fun stream for you overall, so you can actually see how somebody's trading with a $24,000 account. And you know my goals, you know my expectations, you know what I'm shooting for, and you know the risks as well. So with that being said, I think we're going to end my stream today. I'm happy to see a record number of you in my stream today, so that's awesome. Now we didn't make a lot of profit today. We only made $5 on screen, but we did make a 26 on the account. It's not huge, but it does show as a 0.11% profit on the account just for today. I'm hoping to bring in roughly about 0.2 to 0.3% on a daily basis. Today is not over yet, so trading can still continue. I'm going to end my stream today as I want this to be something that's interactive. I don't want it to be where I'm just sitting here, you're looking at me, and I'm trading the markets. I want there to be more interaction, and so that's why I don't want these streams to be too long. Now that might change, especially upon request. If you guys want these streams to be 2 hours, please let me know, or longer, and we'll do that. I'm going to answer some of these questions before I go. That guy on FF, do not use stop loss. So you do know him. Interesting. Okay. That's the one of the problems. What is that? Is that indicator? So yeah, he doesn't. If that guy doesn't use stop loss, I do use stop loss on my RMI inside candle strategy. Now this scalping, no, I do not have a stop loss on scalping. That is what's risking 100% of my account, is the no stop loss feature with this type of trading. Now, scalping doesn't usually, well, there's some strategies that do have stop loss, but I do not plan on having a stop loss with this strategy. What I do plan on is making sure that I don't need a stop loss. So that means that looking at the market, looking at the volatility of the candles, looking at what news is coming out, the current climate, how large the candlesticks are, uh, all that kind of stuff. So I'm being very cautious in how I approach it because I know I don't have a stop loss. Again, I have a lot of stuff going against me. No stop loss on the scalping strategy, um, and is a martingale type of money management. But if I can trade this the right way, it will give me a pretty big profit each month in the 10 to 20% range. But also, I have the risk involved, and I know that risk is something that I'm willing to take for the initial for the rewards. Um, and so that's what this stream is about. You being able to watch that process. Will he make it? Will he make his $12,000 goal? Um, and if so, at what cost was it? Did he risk 50% of his account? Did he risk 100% when it comes down to it? Which you'll be able to see on my tracking account. You'll be able to see how much I've risked. All right, so right now drawdown is 0.18%. What is that going to be at the time that I reach 12K? Or will I reach 12K before it actually blows up? All that kind of stuff. Okay, so yeah, you're asking FX Guesser. Is that a buy? Price was touched the lower line of your indicator. Yeah. So I wanted to go past the bottom line by 1 pip. So it needs to go by 1 pip. If it doesn't go by 1 pip, then there won't be an entry. Now I can change that. I can change that in my settings, and you can change that live in trading as well. But you can see distance pips, and this is my settings of the EA. That means 1 pip, as that I want the price to go 1 pip below the lines before entering any position. And why I do that is because I want it to bounce off this line. I want it to go extend a little bit, and I want to see a wick. So sort of like what you see with this candle here. But I wanted to extend just slightly more before the bounce. Unfortunately, I've missed out on 2 positions because of that rule that I have of the 1 pip in these 2 areas. That's okay. I'm okay with missing out on trades because of conditions weren't quite met. So let's see. Price was. I can see very clear the image video. I can't see. Oh, I can't. You can't see. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see if I can change the template here. Actually, I need to save these settings. So if I change the template, then everything will be deleted. So I need to do TMA. Okay. So no trades are going in yet. Oh, that's right. I don't have my... So this is what I like to do. I don't like these candlesticks, so I changed them all. I changed the background. So grid, I do none. And bar up, I do green, bar down red, bull candle green, bear candle red. Line graph I like to do as yellow. And that's it. So there we go. That should be much easier to see. Uh, you can't see the entry down there because it's blocked by the candlestick. But if I do it like that, you can see better where the entry actually was. Maybe removing the grid. Okay, yeah, so I did that already. Okay, so this is my template. This is what I like to look at. But like I said, this is a new broker, so I haven't gotten everything set up quite yet. So I'm going to save this template again as teammate. Now the reason why it's called teammate is because this is the teammate indicator. This one here, teammate bands. You can find these online as well. It's not hard to do. Now we're still within the bounds here. It's pretty close. I'm actually going to change this to 2. So you can see that max distance is 5 pips in 3. What that means is I'm going to change this to 6 temporarily. 5 and 6. That means that from the middle band to the top band, I don't want it to be more than 5 pips, more than 6 pips, and I don't want it to be less than 3. So what that does is it helps me have basically a volume. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Filter. It's a volume filter. So if it's too not volatile enough, I won't enter trades, and if it's too volatile, I also won't enter trades. It helps to have that active when I'm not always at my computer, or if it helps, I guess, filter some of the news as well, although I like to do that manually. So that's the approach. That's what you'll see me doing. And tomorrow's Friday. Let's see what we have coming. If there's any news to be, yeah, it was just the core durable goods, which I'll probably just trade right through that potentially. And you'll see me trading at 9. So I'll go from 9 till 10, unless there's a lot of action in the market, and we have a lot of trades that are going in. Um, and uh, that'll be I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching the first stream. I'll be on again tomorrow at 9 a.m. and I plan to do pretty much every day unless the volume of the market's just too low, and I don't see that as a very interesting um, stream if that's the case. All right, so I'll give you an update with trades tomorrow, and we'll do some live trading. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.